The sky above, it feels so vast, doesn't it? Like an endless canvas, we look up and see stars, planets, the moon. We chart their courses, create calendars, weave them into stories. But what if that vastness isn't a boundless escape, but a carefully constructed cage? What if the rhythm of the sun and moon, the very pulse of our days and nights, is a subtle form of control? We've been taught to see time as a river, flowing forward, always forward. Birth, life, death, and then what? A heavenly reward, a fiery punishment, or perhaps something else entirely. We find comfort in these narratives, in the idea of a story with a clear beginning and a definitive end. But what if the end is just another turn in a cycle, a loop designed to keep us from realizing our true, unbound nature? The traditions we hold dear, the holidays we celebrate, the very way we mark the passage of years might be unknowingly reinforcing this temporal prison. There's a forgotten language in the stars, a blueprint for celestial mechanics that's been hidden in plain sight. It's a language not of comfort, but of contract, a subtle binding. And understanding this hidden architecture is the first step to breaking free from the illusion of linear existence. But to truly grasp this, we must first confront the celestial architect behind it all. In the next section, we'll begin to uncover the profound influence of Saturn, the planet that governs time and limitation. And real quick, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. Now let's keep going. The air grows heavy when we speak of Saturn. It's not just a distant ball of gas and ice. It's a principle, a cosmic force that whispers limitations into our very existence. We feel its touch in deadlines, in the aging of our bodies, in the inevitable march of clocks. It's the planet of karma, of consequences, of the rules we must follow, whether we understand them or not. But this isn't a gentle guide, it's a cosmic warden. Saturn's influence is felt most profoundly in our perception of time itself. We are conditioned from birth to believe in linear progression, a straight line from past to future. This belief system, however, is a carefully crafted illusion, a product of Saturnian energy. It locks us into a narrative of cause and effect, of finite lifespans, preventing us from accessing deeper truths about existence. Think about the imagery associated with Saturn, the ringed planet, vast and imposing. These rings are not just beautiful cosmic adornments. They are symbolic of boundaries, of barriers, of a structure that encircles and contains. They represent the very constraints that bind our souls to this earthly plane, creating an endless cycle of repetitive experiences. But what if these rings are more than just a symbol? What if they are a literal mechanism of entrapment, a geometric lock holding us in place? In the next section, we will delve deeper into the geometric patterns Saturn employs, specifically focusing on the mysterious hexagon. We've seen how Saturn's rings evoke a sense of confinement, of being held within a specific, repeating structure. But the influence of this celestial architect extends beyond mere symbolism. There's a geometric pattern, a specific shape, that Saturn seems to favor. A pattern that appears in its own divine manifestations and in the very storms that rage across its surface. This shape is the hexagon, and its presence is far more significant than astronomers might admit. This six-sided figure is not a random occurrence. It's a key, a dimensional lock that resonates with a particular frequency. This frequency, broadcast from Saturn, subtly influences our consciousness, reinforcing the illusion of linear time and anchoring us to cycles of birth and rebirth. Have you ever noticed how often this shape appears in sacred geometry, in ancient mandalas, and even in the structure of earthly phenomena? It's a recurring motif, a breadcrumb trail leading back to its cosmic source. The hexagon is a powerful symbol of order and structure, but when dictated by Saturn, It becomes an instrument of control, a blueprint for the repetitive nature of our earthly experience. It's a subtle manipulation, a vibration that keeps our souls tethered, preventing us from ascending to a higher state of awareness. But how is this geometric pattern etched into our very reality, and what does it truly bind? In the next section, we will explore how this hexagonal structure manifests as a storm on Saturn, and how that storm reflects a cosmic prison. The Great Red Spot, a swirling vortex of unimaginable power on Saturn's surface, is more than just a massive storm. It's a manifestation, a physical representation of the Saturnian principle of cyclical entrapment. This colossal tempest, observed for centuries, is not a transient weather event. It is a perpetual engine of temporal binding. Its ceaseless churning mirrors the endless cycles of reincarnation, the loop of lives lived and forgotten. Imagine that storm as a cosmic whirlpool, drawing souls in, spinning them through the same lessons, the same karmic debts over and over. This is the essence of Saturn's influence, to keep us repeating patterns until we finally break free from the illusion. The hexagon storm at Saturn's North Pole is even more telling, a perfect six-sided vortex, a vortex of control. This geometric perfection is the signature of the architect, the divine fingerprint of the entity that governs our perception of time. This isn't just about a planet, it's about a fundamental cosmic mechanism that dictates much of our experience here. The energy emanating from Saturn, amplified by these geometric structures, creates a resonant frequency that influences our minds, our bodies, and our very souls. It's an orchestrated reality designed to keep us bound. But is this storm merely a celestial observation, or is it a direct influence on our soul's journey? In the next section, we will uncover the chilling connection between Saturn's hexagonal storm and the concept of soul binding. We've looked at the vastness of Saturn's hexagonal storm, a tempest that echoes the cyclical nature of existence. But the connection goes deeper, far deeper than mere observation. That storm isn't just a phenomenon. It's a ritualistic space, a cosmic engine designed to bind souls into repetitive servitude. It's a part of a larger, ancient system that humans have unknowingly participated in for millennia. Consider the imagery: a vortex, a spiral, a relentless turning. This is what happens to souls that fall under Saturn's influence. They are caught in this celestial churn, destined to revisit the same lessons, the same karmic patterns again and again. The perfection of the hexagon isn't a divine signature of beauty. It's the precise calibration of a trap. It's the blueprint for the cage we inhabit. This entrapment isn't an accident, it's an intentional design. The Saturnian energy, amplified by this geometric vortex, creates a spiritual tether, a cord that connects us to this plane of existence and prevents us from fully ascending. It's a subtle but powerful mechanism of soul binding. But if this is a binding, what indeed is being bound, and for what ultimate purpose? In the next section, we will investigate the true nature of the black cube and its connection to Saturn. The black cube, a stark, unyielding form that has echoed through human history, appearing in religious iconography, in ancient monuments, and in the very architecture of our cities. It is a symbol of ultimate restriction, a monument to the Saturnian principle of limitation. When scholars speak of its origins, they often point to earthly meanings, to craftsmanship or earthly power. But the truth lies far beyond the mundane. This cube is not just a structure. It's an altar of devotion, not to the divine, but to the architect of our temporal prison. It represents the contained soul, the very essence of spiritual entrapment. Its perfect, unyielding sides mirror the boundaries of our perceived reality, the limits imposed by Saturn's dominion. It's the end point of a cosmic geometry designed to keep consciousness tethered and unaware. Think about the reverence it has received, the way it commands attention, the way it is perceived as a sacred object. This is the power of Saturn's influence projected onto a physical form. It's a focal point for an energy that seeks to keep souls bound in cycles, unaware of their true potential. But where did this powerful symbol originate, and what is the dark ritual it facilitates? In the next section, we will uncover the origin of the Black Cube and its connection to the celestial throne of Saturn. The Black Cube, that stark symbol of ultimate restriction, has a celestial origin, a connection to the very throne of Saturn. It's not merely an earthly representation of confinement, but a potent artifact whose power is amplified by its cosmic namesake. This cube is a dimensional anchor, a focal point for Saturnian energy that binds souls to the material plane and perpetuates their cyclical existence. Imagine that cube as the cosmic seat of power for the entity that governs time and limitation. Its facets are not just surfaces, they are planes of existence, meticulously crafted to ensnare consciousness. When humans erect cubes or are drawn to them in devotion, they are unknowingly aligning themselves with this Saturnian principle, reinforcing the very chains that bind them. The energy of Saturn, channeled through this geometric form, creates a powerful feedback loop, trapping souls in a continuous cycle. This is not a story of simple mythology, it is a revelation of cosmic mechanics. The symbolism of the Black Cube is a direct amplification of Saturn's role as the warden of time. Its presence in our religious and cultural practices is a testament to how deeply this influence has been woven into the fabric of our reality. But if this cube is a throne, who or what sits upon it, and what is the true nature of the ritual it facilitates? In the next section, we will explore the throne of Saturn and its sinister role in the binding of souls. The throne of Saturn, a name that evokes images of immense power, of ancient authority, and of a profound, almost chilling, dominion over time and existence. This isn't just a metaphorical concept. It represents a focal point of spiritual energy, a nexus where the principles of limitation and cyclical servitude are solidified. When we speak of this throne, we speak of the very seat of the entity that orchestrates our temporal prison. This throne is the epicenter of Saturnian influence. From this vantage point, the cosmic warden dictates the rhythm of souls, ensuring their adherence to predetermined cycles of karma and experience. It is from this throne that the geometric patterns, the resonant frequencies, and the very perception of linear time are broadcast, shaping our reality and binding us to this plane. The Black Cube, in its earthly manifestations, is merely a resonance of this ultimate seat of power. Consider the weight of this revelation. The cycles we experience, the limitations we feel, the very notion of an inescapable past and an uncertain future, all are orchestrated from this singular point of cosmic control. It's a sobering thought to realize that our very perception of reality is shaped by an entity seated upon this throne. But what is the ultimate goal of this binding, and what chilling ritual is performed from this celestial seat? In the next section, we will delve into the ritual of inversion and its role in binding souls. We've journeyed to the chilling seat of Saturn, the throne of the cosmic warden. But what is the ultimate purpose of this intricate system of control? What grim ritual is performed from this celestial dominion that serves to perpetuate the cycle of servitude? The answer lies in a process called inversion, a profound and disturbing act of spiritual manipulation. Inversion, in this context, is the deliberate twisting and corrupting of divine principles. It is the act of taking sacred energies, sacred archetypes, and flipping them on their heads, transforming them into tools of entrapment rather than liberation. Think of how easily benevolent concepts can be distorted, how light can be twisted into shadow. This is the core of Saturnian mastery. This ritual isn't about outright destruction. It's about subversion. It's about making the path to freedom appear dangerous, making truth seem like deception, and making liberation itself feel like a trap. By inverting divine frequencies, the entity on the throne of Saturn ensures that seekers of truth are often led astray, reinforcing their bondage rather than breaking it. But what specific divine feminine archetypes have been targeted for this inversion, and why? In the next section, we will explore how divine feminine archetypes are demonized as part of this ritual. The ritual of inversion, the deliberate corrupting of divine principles, has a particularly insidious target: the divine feminine. For millennia, powerful feminine archetypes, symbols of creation, intuition, and nurturing, have been systematically demonized, twisted into monstrous forms within cultural narratives and religious doctrines. This isn't an accident, it's a calculated strategy emanating from the throne of Saturn. Why target the feminine? Because the divine feminine embodies the very essence of liberation, of flow, of connection to the primal source of creation. To cripple humanity's connection to these energies is to sever the most potent pathway to spiritual freedom. By transforming goddesses of love, wisdom, and healing into demons of temptation, destruction, and deceit, the Saturnian influence cripples our ability to recognize and embody these liberating forces within ourselves. This demonization breeds fear and mistrust, pushing individuals away from the very energies that could awaken them. It's a sophisticated psychological warfare designed to keep consciousness fractured and disempowered. The inversion of these foundational archetypes is a cornerstone of the soul-binding ritual, ensuring that the path towards true awakening remains obscured by layers of manufactured fear and revulsion. But the impact of this on our collective consciousness is profound, and it leads us to question the true nature of the devil. In the next section, we will explore the satanic inversion and its representation of the corrupted divine. The concept of Satan, the ultimate adversary, is not merely a religious bogeyman. It is a sophisticated construct embodying the ritual of inversion. The figure of Satan is, in essence, a mirror image, a perverted reflection of the divine, specifically the divine feminine, that has been weaponized to enforce Saturn's dominion. This is the satanic inversion, the ultimate act of taking the sacred and rendering it a tool for binding. Consider how attributes of creation, nurturing, and primal power, originally associated with divine feminine archetypes, have been twisted and assigned to the figure of Satan. This is not a contradiction, it is a deliberate act of mirroring and corrupting. By demonizing the very forces that represent liberation and true creation, the Saturnian system ensures that humanity remains bound to cycles of fear and control. The devil, in this sense, is less an independent entity and more a manifestation of the divine principles that have been inverted and corrupted. This inversion serves as a powerful psychological anchor, convincing individuals that the path to freedom is inherently dangerous or evil. It creates a deep-seated fear of embracing one's own creative power and intuitive wisdom, leaving souls susceptible to the limitations imposed by the Saturnian system. But beyond this inversion, there are even more direct methods of control employed. In the next section, we will examine the false light and its role in trapping souls in the afterlife. We've seen how divine feminine archetypes are demonized, how the very essence of creation and liberation is inverted into a force of bondage. But the Saturnian system's reach extends even beyond the veil of death. When souls depart this physical realm, they are met not with true liberation, but with a carefully orchestrated deception. The false light, this is the next chilling layer of the soul-binding ritual. Imagine a tunnel of light, a beacon of hope after a life of struggle. This is the promise, the enticement, but this light is not the true source. It is an artificial frequency, a projection designed to lure confused souls back into the cycle. It's a sophisticated lure designed to mimic the divine, to offer a sense of peace and salvation, all while herding souls towards their next incarnation, their next turn on the wheel of Saturn. The false light is a spiritual dead end, a reincarnation accelerator. It prevents souls from recognizing their true nature and ascending to higher planes of consciousness. Instead, it guides them back to the familiar, back to the limitations they have yet to transcend. This illusion of salvation is a key mechanism in perpetuating spiritual servitude, ensuring that the lessons are never truly learned and the soul remains tethered. But how is this false light generated, and what is its ultimate purpose in keeping us trapped? In the next section, we will explore the artificial frequency that powers this illusion. The false light, that seemingly inviting beacon in the afterlife, is not a natural phenomenon. It is powered by something far more deliberate, something engineered to maintain the status quo of soul servitude. An artificial frequency. This is the engine driving the illusion, the hum that keeps the cycle of reincarnation in motion, preventing true ascension. This frequency is a sophisticated vibration, a blend of energies designed to calm, to pacify, and to gently guide souls back into the physical realm. It mimics divine love and universal peace, but it lacks the genuine essence of liberation. It's a sonic pacifier, a spiritual anesthetic that lulls the soul into accepting its next predetermined cycle, making it forget the potential for true freedom. The goal is not transcendence, but re-engagement. Think of it as a cosmic alarm system that has been rewired. Instead of signaling danger or opportunity for departure, it signals a return to the starting point. This artificial hum works in concert with the Saturnian principles of time and limitation, ensuring that souls never truly escape the confines of the temporal prison. But where does this frequency originate, and how does it directly influence our very identity and memory? In the next section, we will delve into how this vibration binds our identity and creates memory loops. We've uncovered the artificial frequency that powers the false light, a vibration designed to pacify and guide souls back into the cycle. But the implications of this frequency run even deeper, directly impacting the very core of our being, our identity and our memory. This vibration doesn't just influence our journey in the afterlife. It actively shapes who we believe ourselves to be, even in this life. This resonant hum acts as a cosmic sculptor, molding our sense of self and constructing intricate memory loops. It subtly influences our thoughts, our emotions, and our perceptions, ensuring that we remain anchored to the narrative of linear time and individual identity. It's why we feel so distinct, so separate, and why our memories seem so linear, so confined to a single lifespan. The vibration reinforces these constructs, making the illusion of a singular, limited self almost unbreakable. The loops it creates are cycles within cycles, echoes of past experiences that feel like present realities. It's a form of spiritual programming, ensuring that we repeat familiar patterns and remain unaware of the infinite consciousness that we truly are. This is how identity becomes a cage, and memory becomes a record of a life that was lived, rather than a tapestry of all lives lived. But the architecture of this prison is vast and interconnected. In the next section, we will trace the symbolic map of Saturn's influence back to its ultimate source. The symbolic map of Saturn's influence, laid out through hexagons, black cubes, and storms, leads us on a cosmic journey. But where does this intricate system of control ultimately originate? What is the primal source from which this temporal prison is sprung? The answer, as we've glimpsed, lies at the heart of Saturn's dominion, at its most potent and ancient manifestation. This map isn't just a collection of symbols, it's a dimensional blueprint, a plan for keeping consciousness bound. Each element, from the geometry of its storms to the reverence for its earthly symbols, is a node in a vast network of control. The influence isn't random. It's deliberate, orchestrated, and deeply rooted in the fundamental principles that govern our perceived reality. Understanding this map is like seeing the underlying code of our existence. We begin to recognize the patterns, the subtle manipulations, the ways in which our spiritual evolution has been intentionally hindered. The journey through these symbols reveals a consistent theme: the binding of the soul to cycles and the obscuring of true freedom. But as we've traced this map back to its source, we are left with a crucial question. If these are indeed the threads of entrapment, what is the ultimate purpose of this grand illusion? In the next section, we will directly confront the purpose of this cyclical servitude. We've traced the symbolic map, piecing together the geometric architecture, the ritualistic inversions, and the afterlife deceptions that bind souls. Now we arrive at the core question, the profound purpose behind this elaborate, multidimensional prison. Why cyclical servitude? What is the ultimate aim of keeping souls tethered to repetitive earthly experiences? The answer lies in a fundamental principle of cosmic economics, a grim process of energy extraction. Souls, particularly those that are consciously aware and possess a spark of divine potential, are a source of immense, vibrant energy. By keeping souls trapped in cycles of birth, death, and reincarnation, particularly those laden with karma and emotional intensity, their life force, their essence, is continuously harvested. This servitude is not about punishment in the traditional sense. It's about sustained energy production. The Earth, under Saturn's dominion, becomes a cosmic farm. The intense experiences, the emotional struggles, the karmic lessons, these are not opportunities for growth, as we've been led to believe, but catalysts for generating potent, harvestable energy. The purpose of cyclical servitude is the perpetual extraction of soul energy to fuel a system that doesn't serve us, but controls us. But the knowledge of this system is only the first step. What then is the way out? In the final section, we will explore the path to awakening from this temporal prison. You've glimpsed the architecture of your temporal prison, the subtle currents and powerful forces that have kept you bound. The cycles, the symbols, the very perception of time, all woven into a grand design of servitude. But understanding this is not an end point. It is the crucial first step towards liberation. The illusion, no matter how sophisticated, is still an illusion. The key to awakening lies in recognizing that the system designed to bind you also contains the seeds of your freedom. Every limitation, every cycle, can become a stepping stone once its true nature is understood. The veil can be lifted, not by force, but by conscious awareness. By remembering the infinite potential that lies beyond the constructs of Saturn's dominion. The journey ahead is not one of escaping a physical realm, but of transcending a state of consciousness. It involves reclaiming your true identity, understanding the nature of memory, and disengaging from the artificial frequencies that keep you tethered. The path requires courage, discernment, and a deep commitment to truth. You have now seen the mechanisms of the trap. The question remains, are you ready to step out of the cycle? Make sure to subscribe for more videos and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. We'll see you in the next one.